Hey there, welcome to Broadband Deployment News. If you are an internet service provider that is providing benefits through the Affordable Connectivity Program, or if you're a recipient of that program, there's a recertification process that's going to start here in June that you need to be aware of. I'll be right back and I'll give you the details. Thanks for joining me, Rick Husey here with Broadband Deployment News. So as I mentioned, this would be of interest to you if you're an internet service provider, but also if you are participating in the ACP. This recertification process, the USAC, which is the Universal Service Administrative Company, is the organization that administers the ACP under the direction of the FCC. They also administer the Universal Service Fund. That's how kind of they got started. So they're going to be going through a recertification process, which is required as part of the Affordable Connectivity Program as far as the rules that the FCC set up. So this would apply to internet service providers. You need to be aware of this. And then also, if you're a recipient, as I mentioned, you need to be aware that you may be having to recertify for this. So that has to happen once per year. So just to read through this real quickly, you see this came out May 18th. Recertification is an annual requirement for the ACP subscribers. Service providers with FCC-approved alternative verification processes or that use a school-based eligibility verification process for the National School Lunch or Breakfast Program must conduct recertification for those subscribers. For all other ACP subscribers, USAC conducts recertification to ensure that ACP subscribers are still eligible for the benefit. So what they're talking about there is that one of the ways that an ISP could offer the ACP would be if they have their own low-income program that the FCC had already approved. And if they had, then you could enroll subscribers in the ACP because they were eligible for your other low-income program. However, that had to be informed consent by the consumer. You couldn't just say, oh, well, they're in this program, I'm going to drop them in the ACP. You need to get consent from the consumer. So that's one way that ISPs are doing it. And then they talk about these programs here as far as the school lunch or breakfast program. If that's how you're determining that they are capable of getting the ACP benefit, then you will have to recertify those as well. Subscribers who participate in Lifeline and ACP that pass the USAC conducted Lifeline recertification process will not need to undergo a separate ACP recertification process. So if they're eligible for Lifeline, they can also be eligible for ACP. And if you participate in Lifeline and then you pass the Lifeline recertification, which is that's a requirement as well, then you are automatically recertified for the ACP. Starting in June, and over the course of the next few months, USAC will initiate automated eligibility database checks to verify the eligibility of ACP subscribers due for recertification in 2023. And obviously one reason we want to recertify once a year is that if somebody is eligible for this benefit one year, and then they're not the next year because their situation has changed. We don't want to keep paying benefits to someone who maybe they didn't have a job, they get a job, and suddenly they don't qualify anymore because of their income. We want to make sure that the benefits would go to those people that are low income or have other circumstances that would mean that they would be able to benefit from the program. So this is something recertified once per year, again, just in case situations change. Subscribers who pass the automated check will complete the 2023 certification requirement and will not need to take any further action to confirm their continued eligibility now or later this year. So USAC will conduct this, and there must be something in their database and how they track things that they know that somebody qualifies for the ACP, and a consumer in that case doesn't need to do anything. Subscribers who fail the automated check will be required to recertify their continued eligibility. And as far as what this means for service providers should check the data on the recertification subscriber statutes report in the National Lifeline Accountability Database. So they want you to keep on top of that. There'll also be a new report for service providers called the ACP Recertification Not Processed Report. This report will tell service providers why a subscriber is not currently undergoing ACP recertification. For example, a subscriber is currently undergoing Lifeline recertification. So again, they're not going to try to recertify somebody for ACP if they're in Lifeline. They'll just recertify Lifeline, and then that process will automatically happen there for ACP. USAC encourages service providers to educate their ACP subscribers on the recertification process, inform them that USAC may contact them about recertification, and remind them that they should timely respond to any notifications they receive about the need to recertify their eligibility. So kind of back to the top there when we were talking about, in some cases, as an ISP, you will need to recertify depending on how you are admitting people into the ACP. If it's through your own program certification that the FCC approved, you will have to do that. If it's through something else, one of these automated methods, you don't have to do that. But they're saying, I would think in either case, you want to let your subscribers know that this recertification process will take place. What this means for subscribers, starting in June, USAC will conduct outreach to subscribers who fail the automated eligibility check. Subscribers will have a 60-day window to recertify. If a subscriber receives a letter in the mail from USAC, they will need to take action to recertify their benefit. So for those of you that may be receiving the benefit, you'll have to, if you get this letter, you'll have to recertify, and you'll have to do that within 60 days. There is a link to a recertification page here that I just pulled up, but you can, I link to both of these things in the description here. So I've got a link to this, and then I link to this, but this is also linked from that notification right there. So this is for the consumer right here. So again, just something for ISPs to be aware of if you are offering the ACP right now. The ACP is good for internet service providers because these are people that might not otherwise get broadband from them because they don't find it affordable enough to be able to get broadband. And with the ACP, they can get broadband. So a lot ISPs really like the Affordable Connectivity Program. It provides them a way to get new customers. They get a subsidy from the government. And if you're not aware of the ACP, just quick review. So this is a program that was passed as part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. It's over $14 billion that was allocated to this that provides a subsidy up to $30, or I should say a $30 subsidy for people that qualify for this. And you can qualify through various things like Lifeline, through school lunch programs, through income level. You can get a $30 benefit, or if you're on tribal lands, you can get a $75 benefit, and that's every month. So your internet service provider can sign you up for the program. If they are participating in the ACP, you can get internet service from them, and then they will get that subsidy from the government. So depending on what they charge, you can get any plan that you want from them. It could be a $30 plan, and you would qualify, let's say, for the $30 subsidy, then you get free broadband service from that internet service provider. If they have another plan, like maybe it's $60 and it's maybe gig internet, you can still order that through the ACP program, and you'll still get that $30 subsidy. So instead of paying $60, you pay $30. So that's how the program works. And again, this is good for internet service providers because they are getting these subscribers that may otherwise decide they don't want to spend money or that amount of money on broadband. They want to spend it on something else. But in this case, they can get this subsidy. So again, if you're an internet service provider, you want to make sure that your subscribers are aware that they do need to recertify. They may be getting something from USAC in the mail, and they'll want to respond to that in a timely manner within 60 days. And it mentions in there that if somebody doesn't respond and then they're no longer getting the ACP, then they will have to reapply for it. So basically, if you don't recertify, then you'll have to go through a reapplication process to apply for that. Thanks for joining me. If this was interesting, something you didn't know, if you give me a like on the video, I'd appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button on YouTube or down in the very right corner of the video, not on this little screen here because that won't work, but in the video or there. Just hit subscribe, click the bell to be notified, and you'll be notified when I'm live. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.